everyone, and a very happy new year from all of us at Weatherquest. Welcome to the first farming forecast of 2022. And I thought that we'd start this week by reminiscing and looking back over December, taking a look at the radar estimated rainfall accumulations for the month as a whole. You can see a lot of red colours, a lot of purple colours on this map here. So the red colours indicating totals over 40 mil and the purple colours upwards of 70 mil. So quite a bit of rain for many places, quite widely, where it was a changeable month as a whole. We started quite changeable with Storm Barra in the first few weeks of December. It did settle down briefly for a time around mid-month until just before Christmas, although it was quite cloudy in places, quite a bit of drizzle around as well. And then from Christmas till the end of the year, it returned to that changeable theme, and obviously quite mild as well, with a very mild start to 2022. But how did that affect the rainfall anomalies for December? Well, you can see quite a mixed bag across the UK here. It's a mixture of brown colours, white colours and blue colours. So some places below average, some places above average for the month as a whole. So a real mixed bag here. But how are things going to look as we go through the next week? Let's take a look at the forecast starting with Wednesday. And we have got high pressure ridging up from the south across western parts of the UK, and also some colder air coming down from the north. So feeling much colder over the last sort of day or so than it did to start the new year. So that does bring a touch of frost to some places at first on Wednesday. And then as we go through the day, many places it's staying dry, that ridge of high pressure becoming more dominant, many places staying dry, but the risk of a few isolated wintry showers, most likely sort of close to the Irish Sea over these areas across parts of northern Scotland and indeed down the east coast of England. But as that high builds, as the day progresses, we will see those showers become a lot more isolated. And we will start to see some cloud and rain, perhaps just edging into western areas by the end of the day. But those places that don't see the showers, plenty of sunshine on the cards, although it will feel chilly. Now looking towards Thursday, obviously high pressure ridging up from the south, bringing a clear night to much of Scotland, England and Wales. So the potential for temperatures to fall quite quickly below freezing and bring a widespread frost to some places on Thursday morning. So chilly overnight, but we will start to see the cloud and rain just in the west here, pushing across Ireland as we go through the early hours of Thursday, so lowering the frost risk for the places there, a bit of a milder end to the night for those areas. And indeed, as the day progresses, that area of rain will spread eastwards, keeping our eyes on the leading edge of that, which could just turn to snow as it moves across parts of Scotland, northern England, as it meets that cold air. And then as that rain does clear its way eastward, we will start to see some brighter skies following from the west, perhaps a few scattered showers as well, these most frequent around western facing coastlines. Now looking at the air mass temperature, you can see, as we said, those blue colours indicating cold air across many sort of central and eastern areas at first on Thursday. But as I did say, with those frontal systems coming in from the west, we will start to see a bit of milder air pushing eastwards across the country, but then those blue colours returning to the map as we go into Friday, something slightly cooler, before once again the next fronts that we're expecting to see go through start to bring some milder air. So quite a seesaw of the air mass temperatures over the next few days. That really is sort of a character of the forecast as we go over the next week or so, and there'll be more on that in a bit. But taking a look at Friday, with that rain now cleared out to the east, I think we're expecting a largely unsettled day. Bright in places, a breezy day too, with the risk of sort of further showers, particularly near western facing coastlines. Once again, they could turn wintry in a few places as well. And there's also the risk of perhaps a longer spell of rain running across southern Britain. That's something to keep an eye on. And then again, by the end of Friday, the next fronts beginning to push into northwestern areas. So as we go through Saturday, that's the sort of picture that we're expecting, those areas of rain spreading their way eastwards, and then perhaps some brighter skies following from the west, as well as scattered showers. Now, something else that we have to keep an eye on is this area of low pressure that's just starting to push into northwestern areas end of the day on Saturday, as that could affect the forecast as we go into Sunday. But worth mentioning, not every model has this in. This is just a feature of a couple of models, so there's still some uncertainty regarding that area of low pressure at the moment. And if this is sort of in the forecast, this could end up going sort of a few different ways. Some models tracking this sort of southeastwards, so bringing some spells of rain, sleet and snow to more sort of southern areas. Some models tracking it over northern parts, over Scotland, and some models don't have it in at all. Some of them bring sort of more of a ridged pattern as we go into Sunday. So kind of all to play for at the moment. Do watch out for the forecast for Saturday and into Sunday. But for now, taking a look at the spraying conditions, the green colours showing ideal spraying conditions over the next few days. And as we just put this in motion, you can see with high pressure building that we do start to see those green colours becoming widespread. But as we go into Thursday, that cloud, rain and stronger winds arrive from the west. You can see not many green colours across the map at all, even over the rest of the forecast period. Those isobars becoming quite tight in places, so quite breezy. And obviously, as we saw, quite a few spells of rain around as well. So if you are looking to do any spraying, the best chance you've got is over the next day or so while high pressure is still around. Now, if you are looking to do spraying, if you're looking to get work done on your farm, the best thing to do is to speak to our forecasters on our forecast hotline. That's 09065 777675. We're here every day to chat to you. We're even here on Christmas. We do love a good chat. Calls cost £1.55 a minute plus network access charges, and we're always happy to answer your questions. Now, taking a look a bit further ahead into early parts of next week, after that sort of showery, somewhat uncertain day that we're expecting on Sunday, into Monday we will see further fronts spreading in from the west, a bit of a rinse and repeat kind of situation that we've got going on at the moment. So further areas of rain spreading eastwards as we go through the day on Monday, followed by something sort of slightly more showery, something slightly brighter as we go into Tuesday. And then as we go towards the middle part of next week, there's some signs that we could start to see high pressure building from the south. So perhaps something slightly more settled is on the cards. You can see here still got areas of rain spreading into parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland. So we may still see fronts bringing rain to these areas. So not saying it will be completely settled for some northern parts, but it does look like the hints of something slightly calmer on the way next week. And taking a look at the pressure anomaly for the week as a whole, despite the sort of slightly more unsettled start to the week and the potential for fronts to continue to push rain into northwestern areas, the general story is above average pressure. You can see these very dark red colours across all of the UK for week 2, indicating higher than average pressure for many areas, but still, not ruling out a few spells of rain at times. So don't take this graphic too seriously. It does look very tempting. Taking a look at the temperature anomalies as well, with that low pressure coming through, those fronts coming through on Monday, we will see a milder incursion of air with that, so some slightly above average temperatures on Monday. Those falling again slightly as we go into Tuesday. We get a bit more of a northwesterly developing on Tuesday, but as that high pressure builds to the south as we go into midweek kind of time, I think we could possibly see some more sort of west to southwesterly wind flow, perhaps bringing some milder than average temperatures to northwestern areas again. So you can see higher than average temperatures indicated by those pink colours across much of northwestern areas, but across sort of southern Britain, temperatures closer to average for the time of year. And I think this could be due because we've got some clearer skies under the high pressure for those areas, so some slightly cooler overnight temperatures here, just perhaps bringing that average down a touch for those places. Now, taking a look at our chance of a dry day chart, you can see that signal for some slightly sort of higher than average pressure quite well on this chart, with these widespread sort of area of brown colours indicating a high or a very high chance of a dry day as we go from sort of middle of next week kind of time. You can see there's sort of more extensive across southern areas here, so indicating that the high will be dominating these areas slightly more, while further north, not so many of those brown colours interspersed with some greens here and there, so indicating that we might still see fronts spreading into these areas. And as we go forward in time, you can see we do return to the green colours much more readily across northwestern areas, so still seeing fronts, still slightly sort of unsettled weather here, but further south those browns hanging on for a bit longer, but then into the sort of sort of lower chance of a dry day here as well. So suggesting as we go into the following week, returning to something perhaps slightly more changeable. Indeed, something looking slightly more like this, with a mixture of the greens and a mixture of the browns. So some drier interludes, but also some spells of rain. Taking a look at the Airmass Temperature Ensemble forecast as well, you can very clearly see the sort of seesaw in temperatures we've got over the next sort of coming days as we get the milder spells of air with those frontal systems coming in, and then as they clear eastwards, dropping as we get into sort of more northwesterly airflows and something a bit cooler on the following day. So a few of those little spikes, and particularly as we go into Monday, perhaps some temperatures above average for a time, average being that dotted line here. So some above average temperatures possible as we go into the start of next week. As I said, as we go into Tuesday, falling slightly as we go into more of a northwesterly following that front clearing. And then as high pressure builds as we go towards the middle of the week, potentially more of a sort of west to southwesterly airflow for something slightly milder again. But you can see by the time we get to this point, a lot of spread in the ensemble members there. So quite a bit of uncertainty as we go towards the middle and end of next week. Now, taking a look at the monthly, so from around mid-January onwards, you can see we've kind of backed off on this signal for the higher than average pressure. It's still there, still out to the southwest of us, but we've got more of these blues working their way across the UK there, so signalling something maybe slightly more changeable, maybe something slightly more unsettled as we go into week 3. Not too dissimilar for sort of this coming week as a whole, with areas of low pressure interspersed with sort of ridges of high pressure and slightly drier days. So a bit of a mixed bag as we go towards the end of January. And looking at the temperatures as well, I think that'll be a bit of a mixed bag too, with those mixtures of sort of mild air coming ahead of the low pressure systems and the cooler air behind it. So as a whole for the week, looking at closer to average temperatures, although there will be some colder nights possible and some slightly milder days around as well. Now going towards the end of the month into week 4, the end of January, high pressure has got a sort of slight signal for it to be building in, but not quite as much as we had in week 2 as we have next week, but perhaps a slight signal for something slightly more ridged once again as we go into week 4. And this not looking too dissimilar either, so with the potential for that high pressure to build, maybe something slightly milder spreading across the UK as well, with a few pinks colours on the map there indicating slightly higher than average temperatures. So to summarise then, settled at first under this ridge of high pressure, but feeling quite cold, the potential for some frosty mornings and also the chance of some snow as that rain starts to spread in from the west, meets the cold air and could possibly fall as snow in the north and over high ground as mentioned here. And as we go into sort of the rest of the week and over the weekend, we will see a succession of frontal systems bringing areas of rain in from the west, followed by more showery conditions, but generally feeling quite changeable and fairly unsettled at times. Now, as we've talked about a lot in this video, the potential for high pressure to build as we go towards sort of the middle of next week onwards. Still the potential for fronts though to spread areas of rain into northwestern parts. And then as we go towards mid-January, perhaps returning to something slightly more unsettled with areas of rain interspersed with occasional drier intervals. Thank you so much for watching our first farming forecast of 2022. We look forward to being with you for the rest of the year to come. And as always, if you want to get in touch with us, do contact us on social media. Thank you.